Hey there, Nate here with the Volunteer Tech Vlog on the Live Sound 101 YouTube channel. And this is going to be a quick media report for the Thanksgiving Eve service. So our church in recent years has elected to do a Thanksgiving Eve service where it's kind of like a lighthearted thing. We sing a few hymns and there's some wireless mics that get passed around, and we give adults and children a time to share what they're thankful for. And it's usually a really encouraging and kind of inspiring and just a time of Thanksgiving where we can hear stories from people's lives and share stories. And so it's that's the type of service it is. And from a media perspective, it's usually really low key, which is nice for me, for a volunteer who doesn't have to deal with, 16 inputs. We just had 2 wireless mics, piano, and a vocal, and yeah, pretty easy from a sound mixing perspective. But anyway, here's my report. So this is for Wednesday, November 25th, 2015. And the first thing I noticed is during setup, we had noisy monitors. I've talked about this before. There is some sort of low-level noise coming from the monitor path. I don't know where it's getting picked up, but when you turn on everything, you can hear this kind of like, I don't know how to describe it other than noise. Like there's some device in the monitor signal path that either the gain isn't quite staged properly. We need to adjust our gain structure and look at the system-wide gain structure. I think that could be something going on. There sounds like there's some digital weirdness going on. But then there's also, it's compounded by another problem in that the monitors we're using can pick up like radio stations and baby monitors, and there's some weird there's like a Marconi effect going on somewhere. So there's some circuitry that's acting as like an antenna picking up radio signals, and it's not all the time, but if you're there like late at night and the whole building is quiet and you just turn the system on and you just unmute a channel and listen back to the monitors, you can kind of hear this weird, like almost turns into a ringing, and then it's kind of like a bizarre thing. I have never actually heard anything like this before. I've been around audio for a number of years now, and the best way I can describe it is weirdness. There's just some sort of weird thing. But when you get like a good loud signal coming through the monitors, it masks all that weirdness. So it's not to the point where it's like distracting while the band is playing, but during like moments of pause and reflection and silence, like every once in a while there'll be like a moment of silence, and if you don't have everything muted, you can kind of hear this barely audible weirdness happening. So I need to continue to investigate this. I've talked about it before. We eliminated some really harsh noise that was happening from a Behringer unit earlier this year. We took that out of the system, we replaced it, and that was a whole nother type of noise that we were getting in our system. It's like loud crackling and popping. That's a whole nother thing. Meanwhile, there's always been this like weird noise floor issue. I guess I'll call it a noise floor problem, because the noise floor is not what it should be. And so one way to eliminate that is to be quick with the mutes. So if there's a moment of silence, you can mute. But another thing, which is pretty handy in software audio console, or SAC as we call it for short, you can turn on a gate. So the gate will eliminate this noise so that it basically auto mutes the channel unless there is a signal above a certain threshold. So if there's nothing there, and here's our threshold, and there's this weird noise going on down here, and you don't want to hear that, if you turn on a gate, it just it mutes that channel. Now if you have somebody singing into a microphone, and here's the threshold, and their voice is like right here, the gate opens up and you can hear the voice, and then when the voice stops, boop, the gate comes down and all that weird noise goes away. So anyway, a gate is you can kind of think of a gate as like an auto mute based on dB threshold. So I had this particular gate set to like -70. So this is not like heavy gating, but like -70, which is way down there. That fixed the problem. So I definitely think it's some sort of weird noise floor gain structure issue, but I need to trace out the system and really spend some time going from component to component to component and seeing where that occurs. Let's see. And let's, okay, so we thought, I'm Saturday morning here, I'm running some errands. Those are the main points here. I'm gonna chat a little bit longer as I'm driving to the dump here to get rid of the trash. But those are the main things. And now at first we tried to blame this noise floor issue on Pete's vocal pedal. So he's got this auto-tune pedal. I don't really know the name of the pedal. I don't have it off the top of my head. But he's got this auto-tune pedal. So whatever microphone he's singing into, that goes into XLR in of this pedal, and it's like a little stomp box. It's got a little foot switch on the top of it, and then that has XLR out. So he's got his own processing right down on stage where he can do some kind of auto-tuning, voice alteration effects down there based on the song he's doing. I think sometimes he'll go into like a falsetto and he'll use this pedal and do some unique things or creative things with the vocal processing. And at first we thought the noise was associated with that pedal because we would hear this like weird noise floor ringing. And so anyway, on Wednesday night before the service, we said, okay, let's figure this out. And we took the pedal out of the equation, and we still experienced the noise. And so that was good verification. Always good to test and verify before you do anything, because you want to make sure you're finding the actual source of the problem, and you're not trying to fix something that isn't actually causing the problem. So anyway, that's kind of like a troubleshooting thing, is to just really, test and verify and make sure you know where the noise is coming from so that you can properly eliminate the noise. Here's the transfer station. What was the other thing? And on top of that little test and verification we did Wednesday night, I have been in the church when it's quiet and I'm the only one there, and I just have a SM58 plugged directly in, and I've heard that noise. I've been listening to music at low volumes and I've heard that noise before. So noisy monitor. So I'm gonna call this problem monitor noise floor issue or something. I'll come up with like a creative name, because that's really the other thing, is there could be so many different issues. If you don't properly name an issue, it's just this big mixed bag of all kinds of stuff happening, and you don't really know what you're fixing. Like earlier in the year, we fixed this problem with the Behringer, and that was a whole nother noise issue. Now we've got another noise issue that is, comparatively speaking, it's a lot less noticeable, but it's still a problem that I think we can improve upon. So anyway, my name's Nate. Thank you for watching this edition of the Volunteer Tech Vlog. If you like these videos, you can subscribe to the Live Sound 101 YouTube channel, and I'd love to have you. All right, have a great day, guys. Talk to you later.